Mansi Saxena, and I've been part of the NVC Delhi Practice Group since November 2011.
My name is Biraj Bose, and I have been with this practice group from its very initial stages, which is more than 10 years now.
I'm Mona, and I've been part of the Delhi Practice Group since the end of 2017.
My name is George. I am from Delhi. I've been part of this amazing lively group from I think around more than 2 years now.
Hi, I'm Dipankar. I'm a part of the NVC Practice Group, New Delhi, India. I joined the practice group right at its inception, more than 10 years ago. And I've been a fairly regular participant in this practice group.
My name is Meera Sharma. I've been part of the NVC Practice Group for the past 4.5 months.
Hi there, my name is Prachi and I've been associated with the NVC Delhi Practice Group since 2016.
Hi, I'm Joba Sen Menon and have been a part of the Delhi Practice Group for nearly 2 years now.
Hello, my name is Vivek and I am associated with NVC Delhi Practice Group from last 2 years.
Hi, my name is Shenna and I've been associated with the Delhi NVC Practice Group since, oh dear, I'm bad with I think 5 years, 6 years, 8 years, I'm not sure. But since it was in Hoskas, Sudha would know better when that was.
How do I use NVC in my life? It has helped me a lot in my personal life. I've become more grounded, more centered, much calmer person. I have more self-connection and empathy, and I think I'm kinder to myself. It has helped me improve my relationships with my family, with my children, with my friends. And I have, most importantly, learned to just let go. I don't have to try to fix everything. I use NVC extensively in my work as a tool of mediation between couples, and I also teach my clients basic concepts of NVC so they can use it for self-connection and to improve their relationships and with themselves and with their families. And I also teach NVC the basics to groups and create some workshops for special interest groups using the basic concepts of NVC.
I try to use the NVC as I breathe in and I breathe out, which means both in my personal life and my professional life, whether I'm communicating with somebody else or I'm communicating with myself or I'm thinking about social change. So I try to use NVC consciousness in all of it.
I use NVC in all aspects of my life and all my relationships. I have been part of an organization since 2015. We work on community approach basis. So communities like waste pickers, manual scavengers, migrants, different daily wage laborers approach us. And what we do is offer consultancy services in order to connect with their needs and then offer them support. So for me, what consultancy services actually means is empathizing. And I was able to do that because of the NVC tools that I have. I'll give you an example. The waste pickers that we work with, when I went and visited them the first time, I saw that they have more than 5-6 children. Now, why am I saying more than 5-6 children is my judgment. That too many children is not good for health, and you have to, and that's why they're so poor. They can't afford to send their children to school for education. And then I remembered NVC that don't advise and actually connect with them. And I realized that for them, having too many children is survival. It's a strategy for survival because there's so much scarcity and they get paid so little that survival is their concern. So I'm really grateful for the NVC tools that I learned.
I am a Buddhist practitioner. I belong to a worldwide network of Buddhists promoting peace, culture, and education. In our organization, seniors in faith have the responsibility of supporting the community of believers in our local areas. I have started sharing videos, articles, links, and some worksheets on NVC with the next generation of leaders in our organization. We are applying the skills we have learned through practicing nonviolent communication by listening empathetically. The enhanced vocabulary of feelings and needs is also helping us connect better with the members and for them to be able to share their concerns. I hope to do much more once this lockdown is over.
NVC has been an active part of my life for the last 9.5 years. It's been an active part of how I engage with myself and with other people, in my relationships with my friends and family, in intimate relationships, in my relationship with my cats as well. It helps me to come back to a sense of universal human needs in very stressful moments. And having this consciousness has really helped with the work that I've done as a de-addiction counselor, as a humanitarian relief worker, and as just a human being who wants to contribute to building community.
I think I use NVC pretty much in every area of my life. So whether that's personally, I recently had a sort of breakup with a spouse, but I think we were able to handle it and negotiate it very beautifully, actually, because of the NVC work that we've both been doing. Whether it's with my daughter, for example, whatever personal relations I have with her, it's much easier now for me to simply listen and to restrain myself from doing the offering advice and being the mommy. She's 21 now, so we're developing a much more human bond, and I think human of course, but a much more deeper bond, and I think that's largely due to NVC. In my theatre practice, I definitely used NVC in rehearsal process. It allowed me to, for one thing, I get known as the kind director, but that's not really what I aim for. What has happened really is that process was always important, but now people and process during rehearsals have become paramount. And really it's about, when there's an actor maybe who's acting quote unquote difficult, it's just so much easier to bring them, first of all, to sort of just understand why and, maybe have those conversations which would normally have been difficult, but now are just more exploratory and really just based on curiosity and trying to understand. And it always works. It always works to bring the person back into the group and to continue work in a much more positive way. And actually, even with myself, I think that's been a large component of how I've been using NVC. The last few years have been tough. I mentioned the breakup and so on, but more than that, I turned 50 and I was just sort of re-evaluating my life. And I think, definitely NVC and the practice of self-empathy and sort of listening to oneself without judgment and also being curious, frankly, has just really, I think in a way, even though it seems like a lot of terrible things happened in my life, but actually I almost sailed through them, and I really, really attribute that to the practice of NVC. So many, many thanks to whoever is responsible. Well, Sudha for one, but everybody in the practice group, of course, and the practice itself.
Education is my passion, and training is my forte. And I'm really fortunate to be working with this NGO in Delhi that works pan India with other grassroots level NGOs, helping them financially self sustain. And this brings me the opportunity to go and speak to the children, their parents, teachers, and also the management, of course. And this is an opportunity to speak about, and above that, I think to share about NVC. And there have been special sessions that we organized, for some NGOs which were completely focused on NVC. It's really fulfilling, to talk to the people on that subject. It connects with their heart. Yeah.
So I came across NVC in 2012, and ever since then, it's become a very important part of how I interact with myself and with the world around me. I use it a lot in my personal relationships with friends, family, and especially intimate relationships. And I've even used it in my work in the classroom. I've been teaching English to adults and young learners in the British Council. And I find NVC to be such a powerful tool to be used with young children because childhood impacts so deeply how we turn out as adults and how beautiful it can be in the NVC consciousness from a young age. So I try to make my classes a very safe space for children, where I try to offer a space which helps them meet their needs for inclusion, for belonging, to be heard, for choice, and also subtly bringing in the feelings and needs vocabulary into their consciousness. So, for example, every class of mine starts with a morning circle where each child kind of checks in and tells us what's alive in them and rates their feelings on a scale of 1 to 5. And it helps everybody recognize what's happening for each other. And then it sets the tone for the rest of the class, treating each other with empathy. If someone's having a rough day, if somebody's on top of the world, then that person helps out extra. And I've also found it very meaningful in my sessions with parents on counseling. And I've found repeatedly from parents and children, they report back to me saying that they find these classes very fun and safe and a way where the children learn not only English but overall development. Children want to repeatedly come to these classes because they love it. And I have the highest re-registration rate in the British Council in the young learner classes. And I strongly believe that using NVC is one of those reasons.
I'm totally committed to developing NVC consciousness slowly but surely with the Delhi Practice Group. And of course, I make it a point to share with my friends, my colleagues, when I coach or mentor clients. And my biggest high came when I learned that in WHO, one of the groups is actually practicing NVC for conflict resolution just because I happened to pass on the book, The Language of Life by Marshall Rosenberg, to my friend some time ago. And that gave me so much joy.
I work in the area of organization development for over 3 decades now. And I use NVC, particularly the understanding of observation, feelings, needs, and strategies, to facilitate the functioning of groups of people, usually senior management people. And often I find them discussing strategies. And when I raise this question of what needs of yours are likely to be met or not met, and suddenly I find the group begins to focus on what is core in terms of the needs that different parties involved, different stakeholders involved are attempting to meet. And that really brings them together.
My husband and I have different ideologies. It's led to a lot of arguments and disagreements in the past. But week by week, after I've attended the practice sessions, I am now applying my learning. I'm learning to listen empathetically, and I may not agree, but I'm listening. I also shared and applied the teaching with my children, sent them video links. My latest project now is my grandson who's shooting this video, and I'm looking forward to it.
Practice group, the Delhi Practice Group has been important to me. I think mostly because even though it seems, the theory seems, obvious in a way. Once you see it, you're like, oh yeah, okay, that makes perfect sense. It's so logical, my life is going to change now. But really, it doesn't happen in practice quite so easily. So the practice group, in terms of it being a practice group, is incredibly helpful because it also, besides the fact that one gets to practice and with other people, one also gets to hear other stories, the group collective stories, and work in an environment which is safe and kind of fun actually. So that makes it, and one thing I really love about the Delhi Practice Group is that well, of course, there's a sense of community and all that, and we get great food. But other than that, there's this. What do I say? This it's not just the safety and the trust and the fun, but also the sort of not being allowed to get away with things, sort of thing, and that's been really important. But by which I mean, sometimes it's easy to fall. I don't know, like, well, okay, to put it plainly, Sudha just is always really good at calling us out, but of course in an incredibly loving way and an incredibly non-judgmental, like in an NVC way. But that actually really helps because otherwise one gets lulled, I think, into A, sort of thinking that one knows things, and B, into falling into what sounds right or sounds good, or maybe even sometimes what somebody else wants to hear, kind of a thing. But I think as a group also we do call each other out, and I think that has been really helpful and lovely. And of course, everybody's participation and the support is always amazing.
As we all know that any training is a temporary system. The effectiveness of a training really depends upon how we transit from the training temporary system to the permanent system of our lives. And the practice group really helps us do that. Every now and then I need reinforcement, either in terms of clarity of concepts and or its application. And the practice group really provides that opportunity to do that on an ongoing basis. My work entails a fair amount of travel. However, every week that I'm there on Fridays, I make it a point to participate in the NVC Practice Group.
The NVC Delhi Practice Group is so special because it's my first experience with a practice group. Before that, I've had sporadic experiences, and I used to long for something regular, and this group gave me that. Helped me ground myself and keep coming back to NVC, deepen my learning, and also such a safe space. Needs for community met, need for inclusion, need for play, and we have the best snacks ever, and that's huge. So yay for the Delhi Practice Group.
Has the practice group helped me? Practice group is very special to me. It is the fountainhead of NVC. This is the place where all the concepts of NVC are internalized and rooted. And I attend many workshops, but it is here where I return week after week. We study the book together and practice the exercises. And it just sort of helps us to live NVC consciousness.
I read Marshall's book in 2015 and I joined Practice Group in 2017. It's like theory and practicals. So being in Practice Group helps me to embody NVC, stay in the NVC consciousness, and I'm committed to practice for as long as I live.
Delhi Practice Group is a fantastic place to experience and practice NVC every week. Some of the statements made there to stick to your mind, like, why do you want someone to say sorry to you? What will you actually get out of it? Or using I statement instead of the you statements, which always helps in cultivating stronger relationships.
The NVC Delhi Practice Group is my first NVC home, and as such has a very deep place in my heart. It's where I learn to take ownership of my needs and feelings and choices and how I show up in the world. It also is a source of community and friendship and stability, safety, and warmth, even when the world is going completely nuts.
A loving, caring, supportive community empowered me so much that I enrolled myself as a certification candidate, which I was thinking from last 6 or 7 years, and I had no courage to do that. So I would say that it has changed so much in me that I can now see where I am, using my old paradigm, where I'm using my new paradigm, and I have the confidence and the courage and the power to see the choices and pick the choice which I find supportive to life. Thank you so much.
Practice group is so lively, so amazing. You know, the people, the place, and the kind of freedom that we have. It is so amazing. It feels like I belong here. I belong here, and it has given me great insights. You know, one, if I were to mention, is the difference between the reaction and the response. This has to do with that nanosecond that I have to expand where I can build my choices. That is amazing.
Hi, I'm Parul Mehta from Pune. In December, with my few friends, we decided to learn NVC from Sudha Shankar. I found her very passionate about NVC and also a very effective coach. During lockdown, we restarted learning more about NVC from Sudha. My support group has provided me a safe environment to share my experiences, and I have also learned a lot from their experiences, which has enriched my life. NVC has helped me to do a effective communication, which has helped me to improve my relationship with my family and friends. I'm so happy that my family also wants to learn NVC now. Thank you.
I've been working on NVC practice sessions with Sudha for the last few months via Zoom, and they've been very successful. What I've really learned from Sudha is how to listen to people speaking and hear their needs versus their words. And it's really been a very positive impact on my communication with my family, at work, with my friends. And I'm really enjoying it, learning this way via Zoom. Thank you.
So NVC Delhi Practice Group is about the most important thing, according to me, to bring NVC consciousness in life, which is practice, practice and practice.